This will be a series of videos on a building renovation. The company has hired me as a project manager. My job will be to help secure bids for the project, and then I will be the main contact between the contractors and the company. This company makes medical packaging. I've known the owners and their family for many years and currently do a lot of work in their other ongoing operations. I do most of their electrical work, their in-house stuff, as well as lots of other types of work like welding, machinery repair, mill and lathe work. And I also serve as somewhat of a millwright in some respects, especially when it comes to installing new equipment and moving existing equipment. I also have built offices and production area partitions, but I'm not a full-time employee here. I just invoice them for the time and materials and the work that I do. But we've known each other for so long that they trust me to see to it that stuff like this will happen. I have a fair amount of experience in the building trades, so I was a natural fit to be the main liaison between the contractors and the companies, since they all have jobs already and they need to stay busy with that. And there's a lot more to that than it looks like on the surface. There's a lot more to it than I thought there was going to be when I took on this project. So you can see in this room is, I don't know what it was ever used for, but there is a kitchen, there's a sink in here and some other stuff. That room in the back behind the sliding glass doors, I really don't know what that was for. And the owner and I do some gardening out there, so we been using this room for storing stuff, and I don't know what that platform is for. They bought this building about probably 6-8 months ago, and they decided they're going to use this for their main building. This is where all the office personnel is going to be. This is the existing women's bathroom, and you see the old 70s style stuff is still in there. Yeah, and all of their QC people will be in here, and then in the office area, and the outside area is strictly warehousing. There'll be, at some point in the future, there might be some equipment in there, but for the most part, that's just going to be storage of their roll stock and for all the materials that they use in their production line. They print their own materials, and they have machinery that forms the packaging. This area here is going to be the conference room, and most of this will get ripped out, ceilings included. This is it's going to be an additional office area, and back there where you see those blue cabinets, that's going to be the IT room with all of the mainframe and their all of their stuff that they use for network in the company, and the phone equipment will all be in there. This is all old stuff that'll probably eventually be taken out. This is my little temporary shop. You can see my makeshift bench in the back and some shelving where I keep electrical supplies and some of the stuff for the work I do in the other buildings. All this is going to have to go. The first part of this video is basically to get a good record of what the building looked like on the inside, the office areas, the warehouse. This is the view out of the outer office area into the warehouse. The building is 10,000 square feet, and the offices take up about 2,000. That mezzanine is coming down. Those stairs will be coming down, and all be open office area. There's going to be a small bathroom that'll be added to the back. That door you just saw, that roll-up door, will be blocked off. You can see there's a doorway up at the top of the stairs that leads into the upstairs office area. And then that building in the back will come down, the mezzanine will come down. So that area back there will be left open. Most of the other part of the warehouse will have racks. We also have sprinklers going in. That door there, that smaller door, leads out into the common parking area between building 2 and this building. So the product, when it goes out for shipping, will come through that door and out the other door. These stairs go up to a mezzanine on top, and there'll be 6 offices up there. There's 3 that are already there, and we're going to add 3 more on the other side. All of that suspended ceiling comes down. They want an open beam ceiling, so all the ducting and conduit, everything is going to be exposed, but that's what they want. That glass in the front there, it's called a storefront. All that'll be replaced. And there's some windows in these offices over here, and they'll get new glass. What's in there is single pane glass, and we'll probably change that out for double pane and argon, something much more energy efficient than having that heat pouring through that window all day. And there's, like I said, there's 3 of these. There's another one here with a window. The third one doesn't have a window. These ceilings will all come out, and they'll be open beam, and the walls will be extended up all the way to the ceiling. Here you can see the other side of this mezzanine, and it's essentially going to be a mirror image of what you just looked at. 3 offices will be built in there, and that's going to be pretty much it for the upstairs area. This is a view through the doorway out into the warehouse from the mezzanine, which will eventually be blocked off. That door is going away because this mezzanine that's directly beneath me where I'm standing is also going away. Okay, let's do some demo. We got the Mini X in there ripping off that mezzanine, and they're not going to... He's one of the guys on the crew.
I make YouTube videos, that's right.
They don't try to salvage any of the lumber. They just want to get it out of there. It's all coming down. Any of the stuff they're going to add is all going to be metal framed. It's not going to be wood framed. So they just use that Mini X with a thumb, and they just rip it down. This was that area in the back that you can see has already been torn down. This is what you just saw there was a storefront. This was divided. This building was divided and into 2 buildings, and that was the actual entryway into the back half of the building. Yeah, it's pretty rough looking right now, which, I needed to do all this to preserve the way it looked. This is the office area, and they've already begun some of the demo on the walls where things are going to have to move, doorways, new electrical has to go in. They've torn down all of that suspended ceiling and exposed all of the old air conditioning ducting and all that comes out. All that railing is going to come out and be replaced. So back upstairs, after some of the demo has been done, you can see that all the walls are too short. They don't make it all the way up. All that will be reframed, and these are private offices, and so you can't have that. You can't have that open in between. They haven't got all the track down that the suspended ceiling was put up there with, but that's coming. And so yeah, this is the same upstairs area you saw before. So this is the outside area, and kind of if you look to the right, you're going to see a lot of plants and stuff. The owner and I we both love to grow vegetables and tomatoes and that kind of thing. And neither one of us have much room where we live. So we spent a bunch of time in the early spring prepping this soil. There's some peppers. And we planted several tomato plants. And we planted some corn. As you can see, you saw the squash. And we'll see how things go. There's nothing better than fresh corn and fresh tomatoes, or fresh homegrown tomatoes. Store-bought tomatoes are just not that good anymore. So the flat saw was here, and they cut out for what's going to go under the floor, which is all the underfloor plumbing for the restrooms, which is a fair amount because we're going to have this area here is an outdoor restroom for the warehouse, and there'll be an office next to it. And in here is the original men's and women's bathrooms. It will be extended all the way to that back wall. The women's bathroom will have 4 stalls, well, 3 stalls plus the ADA stall. And the men's will have one ADA stall, 1 regular stall, and 2 urinals. So all that plumbing has to go in. What they didn't count on was how thick that concrete is there. It was like 12 inches thick in some spots. First they brought in the 60-pound electric, and that didn't cut it at all. So then we had to create an opening to get the skid steer in there and put the breaker on it, and that just seemed to bounce off or poke holes. It wasn't breaking anything out. So finally they went with a 90-pound jackhammer and got a compressor, and if that didn't cut it, I don't know, they didn't know what they were going to do. But that thing was able to chip it all out eventually, but it took a long time. The 90-pound air hammer is a beast. Even these 2 young guys, they had to switch off because that thing will kick your butt. Eventually they got it and were able to dig down deep enough to start running some pipe. It took them several days to get to this point where they're getting ready for the top-out test. Inspector is due in any time now, but they have got everything plugged off and got their risers up high enough and got getting ready to get the hose drawn in there and fill it up. It did pass the top-out test, and we were able to start back patching. This shows after the concrete guys came in and patched everything. It's pretty much ready to start setting walls in here now, which that will be next. Well, that'll wrap up the first episode of this building renovation, and it might be another month or 2 before we do part 2, but it will be coming. Thanks for watching.